What's up, everybody? It's that time. Week 3 of the NFL. Now, last week we got 2 wrong, which was a very good week. Let's see how we do this week. First game is the Miami Dolphins going to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Dolphins have not looked good. They lost a close one to New England, but they have not really looked good overall. Buffalo 2-0. I'm going with Buffalo to win this game. I think they're the better team. I kind of don't think this will be close, but the one good positive note on this is Miami doesn't have to travel to Buffalo in the winter time when it snows, because we know how bad they are when it snows and all that. But even then, it's not going to make a difference. Buffalo will still win, and I think they'll win pretty easy. The Dolphins are a mess everywhere, and yeah. So next game, the Green Bay Packers going to Cleveland to take on the Browns. The Browns, not that good of a team. They had a circus in the off season. But what else is new? They pretty much always have a circus going on. But Packers looking like legit Super Bowl contenders after 2 weeks. Parsons has came in and helped their defense. Even if he doesn't get the sack numbers, it helps get the pressure to help get sacks, even if it's not him actually getting it. But whatever, right? In this game, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. Next game, Indianapolis versus Tennessee. Indianapolis with Daniel Jones, some kind of resurgence apparently. A surprise. Indianapolis beat Denver last week, and they have surprised. Tennessee, with their rookie Cam Ward, has struggled. I think, if I'm correct, Cam Ward has been sacked like 10 times, I believe, which is a lot. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what happened. In this game, I'm going with Indianapolis to win. I think Tennessee is still going through the struggle period of their season. Will they get better? Possibly. But they're not ready to get better yet. So Indianapolis will win. Next game. Now this is a battle of backups because Joe Burrow is out for at least, I believe, 3 months. Injured his toe. The Vikings, J.J. McCarthy's out for 2 to 4 weeks with a hurt ankle. So it's the Bengals, so it's Jake Browning versus, I don't know who the Vikings have, but the Vikings, Browning, this is going to be close. I'm actually going to go with Cincinnati in a close game on the road. I don't know how, but I think it will happen. Cincinnati should win, or maybe will. I'm going with Cincinnati. in a close one against Minnesota. Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers versus New England. Now, Pittsburgh lost to Seattle. Patriots beat the Dolphins. Pittsburgh had a miscue on a return. Special teams were they didn't return the kick or hit off of their hand, and they acted like they didn't know what they were doing. They never went to recover it, but who knows? Patriots played good with the kick return after the Dolphins had a punt return, so they won that game. Pittsburgh 1.5 point favorite. I think I'm still gonna go with Pittsburgh to win. It's gonna be close, I believe, but I think Pittsburgh is kind of the better team currently. Yeah. Next game, the rematch of the playoffs, the LA Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Rams showing that they're still good after they gave up Cooper Kupp and all that. And Philly beating the Chiefs a week ago. And I find it funny because, Kansas City Chris Jones talked trash to the Eagles Jalen Hurts at the end, kind of. Basically saying, oh, you didn't even have 100 yards, right? Jalen Hurts said, we won the game. Or we better yet, we won the effing game, but we won the game. And, it's like that. Who cares how many yards you get? If you win, right? Chiefs are 0-2. They've never been 0-2 under Patrick Mahomes. But enough about that, because that's not what this isn't about that. The Eagles, favorites at home, the Rams playing tough. I'm going to go with the Eagles at home, but it would not surprise me if somehow the Rams win this. But I am going with Philadelphia to win. The next game, Tampa Bay versus the Jets. Justin Fields is out with the concussion. The Jets are not that good. Who knows who they are, what they are, as a team. I don't think they're that good. I'm going with the Tampa Bay to win this game. They'll probably win pretty easy. The Jets are just not that good. Next game, the Las Vegas Raiders facing the Washington Commanders. Now, Jaden Daniels is questionable. But so who knows if he'll play. The Raiders looked horrible against the Chargers. Geno Smith, not very good, threw 3 interceptions. Gentry looked a little better in that game against the Chargers, but running the ball. But he still hasn't done a whole lot yet. But who cares? Plus, Geno Smith threw it out of bounds on 4th down to throw it away, which I don't know why he was doing that, but whatever. So I think in this game, I believe Washington wins this game. Yeah. The next game, Atlanta Falcons versus Carolina. I'm going with Atlanta to win this game. They beat Minnesota with dominating defense. Their offense didn't really do much. They finally seem like they got a kicker though, so that's good news for them. They ran the ball very good against the Vikings, So if they can run the ball against Carolina, they should have a good chance to win. I'm going with Atlanta to win. The next game, Houston, Texans going up against Jacksonville. I don't know what type of team you have because Houston 0-2. There's still a chance for them to improve. I think in this game, though, I'm actually going with Jacksonville to win. Jacksonville's a sleeper type team that could be a big improvement than a year ago. And I don't know who the Texans are right now. So, with that being said, and for that reason, I'm going with Jacksonville to win. The next game, the LA Chargers and the Denver Broncos. Now, Denver lost to the Colts by 1. Chargers dominated the Raiders. The Broncos, I don't know. I think the Chargers are good, and I think in this game, because this could go either way, but I think I'm going with the Chargers to win against Denver at home. Next game, the Saints versus the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks lost week 1 to the 49ers. Was supposed to lose week 2, apparently, but they did not. They're coming in this game 7.5 point favorites. The Saints are not very good. And just for that reason, I'm going with the Seahawks to beat the Saints. The next game, Dallas Cowboys going to Chicago. Now the Cowboys looked a little better. They looked okay against the Eagles. They won last week against the Giants. They almost lost. They had Aubrey kick that 64-yarder. And then he ended up winning the game in overtime with a field goal. The Bears blew the game against Minnesota and got dominated by Detroit. You got DJ Moore, who really hasn't done a whole lot so far in the first 2 games. Rome Odunze has. Chicago should be able to score, maybe. Dallas's defense isn't very good pass-wise. However, with that being said, I'm still going with Dallas to win this game. The Bears might be able to score somewhat, but they're not going to win. And yeah, I don't think they'll win. So next game, Arizona versus the 49ers. Now, this is a question mark. Brock Purdy missed last week. Mac Jones got the start against the Saints for the 49ers. They won. Arizona was rolling against Carolina. And then they almost lost to Carolina. I'm not sure if Brock Purdy is going to play in this game. I believe he is. Maybe. Even if he doesn't, I still think the 49ers win this game. The next game is a Sunday night football game. Now, who would have thought this matchup would be this way? So you got the 0-2 Giants, right? That's pretty normal, I would say. They're hosting, get this, the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs. Now, like I mentioned before earlier, Mahomes, ever since he's been with the Chiefs, right? They have not been 0-2. So they are in uncharted waters, I guess you could say. Russell Wilson balled out against Dallas. He had 450 yards. That's almost like old-time Wilson when he was throwing a lot and getting yards. Do I think the Chiefs lose again? I don't think so. This game could be closer than you think, and it cannot. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to assume that the game is closer because the Chiefs do not look very good. But, however, I think the Chiefs still get it done, still win. You still got Mahomes. I'll give the edge to the Chiefs, and I'm picking them to win. Now the final game of Week 3 is the Detroit Lions versus Baltimore. Now, if you remember correctly, last year these two teams played, and the Ravens blew them out. Do I think it'll be different this time? I honestly do not. I think the Ravens win, and I could kind of see this being a blowout again. Lamar has only lost once to the NFC, and I do not think that he will lose to the Lions. I think the Lions will try to put up some points, but I think in the end you got Baltimore being too much, Lamar too much for Detroit, and yeah. So thanks for watching this. Um, hit that subscribe button. Um, you know, comment down below who your picks are, and we'll compare and see how we do. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.